Yeah, very good morning to all. Very glad to invite to all participants. We are the full support for my event, and we welcome you our Thiruvallur College Babanasam, Tirunelveli district, Tamil Nadu. Is organized a 6-day national level webinar, discrimination among the human being in India, organized by Department of History, Thiruvallur College Babanasam. And with my best blessings of Tavatiru Kurumaga Sannidhanam, College Secretary, Thiruvallur College Babanasam, and Honorable Principal Dr. Sundaram Sir, and respected Ravi Shankar Sir, IQC Coordinator, Head of the Department, Thiruvallur College Babanasam. And now I would like to Dr. Palani Kumar Sir, the Director, Physical Education, Thiruvallur College Babanasam, Tirunelveli. Sir, welcome, sir. Now introduce the invite the resource person and felicitation for this event. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Welcome. So, well, good morning to one and all. I have great pleasure to introduce today's resource person of this webinar. I am very much happy to be the part and parcel of this webinar. And before introduction, let me say something about this webinar. First of all, on behalf of our college management, Principal Dr. Sundaram Sir, Self-Finance Director Dr. Alagappan Sir, Administrative Officer Sri Natarajan Sir, Department of History HOD Dr. L. Ravishankar Sir, Organizing Secretary Dr. Rajesh Sir, and other professors in history and other departments, and on my own behalf, I would like to say some points regarding this webinar. So our topic, discrimination among the human beings in India, for 6 days national webinar organized by Department of History and Tourism, Thiruvallur College Babanasam, that is from 31/7/2020 to 4/8/2020 it is being conducted. And for the past 3 days, various topics were discussed and taken by various resource persons. And today is the 4th day. So our topic today is the discrimination in sports. See, not only today, from the ancient period, if we see from the ancient period, even from Ramayana era, Mahabharata era, we could see the discrimination among human beings. Maybe it may be a caste or it may be a religion, whatever it may be. So from those era, even lakhs and lakhs years back, a discrimination was there and it's being carried out even today. So America is still fighting against racism, black and white. India against caste and religions. And throughout the world, each and nook and every corner of the world, they are fighting against something, whatever it may be, about discrimination. So it's a very good topic, nice topic given by the Department of History, and it's the 4th day today. And see, even in sports also we have discrimination. So what I'm coming to say is the right person to take this topic. So you have given a nice chance to a right personality in our field of physical education. I would like to introduce my best friend, sportsman, highly talented, enthusiastic, well-known figure in our field of physical education, Dr. J. Raja Singh Rockland, the Director of Physical Education, Nazareth Margasis College at Piliyanmalai, Nazareth. Regarding his educational career, he did his BSc in Mathematics at Oaks College, Soyerpuram at 1993. He pursued his MPhil degree at Dr. Sivanjatna College of Physical Education, Tiruchendur during the year 1996. He completed his MPhil at Department of Physical Education and Health Sciences, Allahabad University at 1997. Football as his passion. He also did certificate in sports coaching at National Institute of Sports at Manipur, that is NIS at Manipur, during the year 2000.
இப்போ வாட்ஸ்அப் ஃபேஸ்புக்லயா மெசேஜ்லயா ஷேர்லயா
Continued his education career
Oh,
by successfully
Yeah.
completing the PhD
WhatsApp
program
and
at the Department of Physical Education, the HS Rajas College, Pudukkottai, affiliated to Bharathidasan University, Tiruchirappalli during the year 2014. He also added his educational career with PG Diploma in Yoga at Dr. Sivanjatana College of Physical Education, Tiruchendur at 2017. He had also successfully passed the UGC NET exam during the year 1998. Career in the field of physical education. He first joined as a physical director at St. Peter's Matriculation Higher Secondary School, Kodaikanal during the year 1997 and 1998. Later, he got appointment as a lecturer at Dr. Sivanjatana College of Physical Education, Tiruchendur, and worked there from 1998 to 2001. Then he got appointment as the director of physical education at Nasraj Margasis College at Piliyanmalai, Nasraj, and working there since 2001. His research and publications work. He has presented 3 papers at international conferences and 13 papers in the national conferences. He also published 1 article at an international journal, 1 article at national journal, and 7 articles in the proceedings of national conferences. He has been the chairperson and given keynote address and special talks in various national workshops and even 2 national webinars also. Awards and honors. A football player himself, he has contributed his skills, coaching, and given everything towards football. His passion against football, I haven't seen such a person, other persons in this field. He loves the game of football than his wife and children. Such a wonderful personality. He has got many awards and honors in his pocket. He is a C certificate licensed coach in the game of football given by Asian Football Confederation. Referee class 3 by Tamil Nadu Football Association. State technical official by Tamil Nadu Athletic Association. He acted as an assistant coach for the Tamil Nadu State Junior Men Football Team during the year 2006 and 7. Since 2003, consecutively he was the coach for the MS University Men and Women Football Team. He was the coach for Tirunelveli District Football Team and won many tournaments under his coaching guidance from 2003 to 2014. Member for Men and Women Football Selection Committee, MS University since 2003. His special interests are playing and coaching football, athletics, basketball, and teaching sports training. Last but not the least, to me, he is my best friend, collegehood opponent team football player, played many matches against him, and he co-staff at Dr. Sivanjatana College of Physical Education, Tiruchendur, and one and all, I wish him all his endeavors. Thank you. Thank you, Rajesh sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for nice introduction and brief introduction for the resource person. Yeah, welcome, sir. Yeah, today about the topic, the all over India throughout, there's so many kinds of discrimination in particularly sports. They are the gender discrimination and racial discrimination and religious discrimination and disability, then inequality. There's so many kinds of discrimination for the sports events. Today, our topic, how can this issue be solved? What are the solution to this issue and how to resolve this problem? So the brief discuss about the today topic event, and I would like to hand over the session today resource person, Dr. Raja Singh Raghulan sir. Sir, welcome sir.
Very good morning to one and all present here. First of all, before starting my presentation, I would like to thank the management of Thiruvallur College, especially to the secretary. I would like to thank the secretary and the principal, Dr. Sundaram, and the HOD of the Department of History and the IQAC coordinator, Dr. Ravi Shankar, and the organizing secretary, Dr. K. Rajesh. I would like to thank each and every one of them behind this webinar, and given this opportunity for me to share my knowledge regarding this discrimination in sports. Discrimination is everywhere in this world. As my friend Dr. Palani Kumar said, is right from the beginning in everywhere.
Yeah, sir. 1 second, sir. Participants, please mute your audio, sir. Please cooperate with us. Please mute your audios and turn off your videos. Please cooperate. Please cooperate. Sir, carry on, sir.
And before that, I would like to thank my best friend, Dr. Palani Kumar. Because of him only, I got the opportunity to talk here in this webinar of Thiruvallur College. He's a very good friend of mine, and I gained so much of knowledge regarding the sports training and athletic training from him, because he has done diploma in athletic coaching from NIS Patiala. He is a very rich, knowledgeable person in athletics, both in coaching as well as in rules of game, rules of athletics. So we used to talk a lot of things about athletics, training, principles like that. He's a very good friend of me. So I would like to thank him wholeheartedly for creating an opportunity for me to present a webinar presentation here. Thank you, Dr. Palani Kumar. And now going into my presentation. Discrimination, it stands for the degradation of groups or individuals. Everywhere discrimination is there. It is treating persons unfairly because of their age, sex, religion, disability, caste or race or anything, minority like that. This is discrimination. In sports, inequality continues to dominate in a lot of sports and games. Of course, sports has a lot of good things. It has the power to change the world. It has the power to inspire. It has the power to unite people. So, apart from that, there is discrimination. It is based on gender, racism, religion, like other discriminations too. Sports can also create hope among all the individuals. It is very more powerful than the government breaking down these racial barriers. These discrimination in sports are based on some categories. They are gender discrimination, racism, religion, caste, disabilities, and some minority issues too. Coming to gender discrimination, usually this men and women discrimination is everywhere in every field. In sports, this gender discrimination is due to inequality regarding their opportunity to participate in the sports events and the audience viewing their events. Because if you take, for example, if you go to a men's football game in a stadium, the stadium will be full. If there is a game for women, there will be merely few members to watch that game. Then coming to wage, then sexism, then media coverage, everything else, there is discrimination regarding this gender. That is for women. There is a lot of different sexes between men and women. Actually, women are perceived as too weak for participating in sports, especially in endurance events like marathon and weightlifting. And they are objectified by fans, commentators, even coaches. They are perceived as they are the showcases for their pleasure. These are the perception of the people about the women's sports. You can see there are a lot of women medalists for India. I have given a lot of pictures. The Sanji Bobby George, P.T. Usha, then a lot of them are there. And there is a latest is Hima Das. He is from a poor farmer family. He has done his early careers in football. He played football in his childhood and later he converted his performance into athletics and he took up 400 meters.
Women 400 meters final. The line again for you.
This is the performance of Himalas in the World Championship. He concluded. Under 20 World Championship, he performed 400 meters and he said gold medal. This is the first gold medal in the international arena in athletics.
Connolly, the Australian athlete, and Manson, the American athlete, have gone out hard. Himadas has gone for a more conservative approach. You see Miklos as well has gone out well.
Here is Himadas.
Well, Madsen went fast straight out of the gate. The Australians got with her as well. And Dash at the moment has got a lot to do as they come down towards the home straight. The American champion, Taylor Madsen, running the race of her life at the moment. But here comes Himadas. The Indian is surging. She can see the line. She can see history. India's never won any medal in a track event. But Dash has done it here. Brilliant. 51.47. History made in Tampere. Himadas has done it. What a performance. She reeled them in one by one to take a global title. And Nish gets the bronze, but the Indian flag will fly proudly and historically here in Finland. India celebrates a landmark moment.
Himadas has the weight of a nation on her shoulders. She is a huge star in India, having a fantastic career to come here and win a global title. This will mean so much to everybody at home.
That was the video that Himadas performed in the Under-20 World Championship. That was the first international medal in athletic event. That is a proud moment for India that came from women athlete. Then come to the gender discrimination. In olden days, women are not allowed to participate in the marathon like that. In 1967, Catherine Switzer, he has participated in a Boston Marathon by entering his name as KV Switzer to hide her gender. While doing the marathon event, after 2 miles, he was pulled out by an official because he was a woman. But instead of that protest, he continued his race and finished that race. He was the first woman to finish as an official entrant and finish the marathon race. Later, he joined so many women athletes and protested their participation in women marathon, and he won also. In 1972, they allowed in the Boston Marathon to allow the women runners to participate, and women marathon was included in World Mix in 1984. Here is John Bennett Samuelson, the first women Olympic marathon winner in 1984 World Mix. And if you take wages in women's sports, there is a great partiality between men and women. Women cricketers in top brackets earn only 7% of their male counterparts. If you take, for example, Virat Kohli and that Mithali Raj of cricket in India, from men and women's side, their pay structure is it's very vast difference between them. Nearly 7 to 10% of wage only she is getting when it is compared with his male counterpart Virat Kohli. If you take wage norms of this BCCI, men's cricketers have been divided into 4 categories. They are Group A plus, Grade A, Grade B, Grade C, like that. They are getting annually 7 crores to 1 crore annually, the men cricketers. If you take women cricketers, there is only 3 grades, A, B and C. They are getting 50, 30 and 10 lakhs respectively in their categories annually. So you can see there is a vast difference between them in their wages. And women's sports helps the girls, especially in the rural tribal area and in underprivileged area, then poor socioeconomic condition. Sports helps them to overcome from their discrimination, gender discrimination. There is a foundation called Yuva, a non-profit organization. They are teaching girls soccer in Armanji village in Jharkhand. That has given them the opportunity to overcome their discrimination in their rural village. And in USA, the US women soccer team, they have objected their wages, that is their prize money given to them, and they have sued the US Federation for their wage discrimination, and they have won. Later, they have given a hike in their wages when compared to the men counterpart. They say focus, determination, pain, disappointment, excitement, suspense, anger, relief. It's all part of the game, whether you are a man or woman. So you have to treat us equally when compared to men. They claimed it and they won it. And if you take Wimbledon championship, tennis championship, it is conducted every then and there in the England. The prize money involves a lot of money. That is billions of money involves in this. That is Wimbledon tennis. The partiality is so much. The difference is vast when you compare to men and women prize money. So in 2007, Venus Williams, a Grand Slam winner from USA, she has objected and given a pressure to the Tennis Federation of Wimbledon to hike the prize money equal to men's prize money. After that, the policies were changed in 2007 and she was awarded 1.4 million for her next fourth Wimbledon victory, the same amount as the men's champion Roger Federer received. So such type of discrimination exists in tennis. And if you take, that is a recognition of women's sports, that is female sports, is less when compared to men's sports. Ada Hegerberg is a 23-year-old Norwegian soccer player. He was awarded best female soccer player in the year 2018. That is Women Ballon d'Or. That is Ballon d'Or is a prestigious individual soccer player award given to men previously. That was reserved for men only. And later it was introduced for women also. The Ada Hegerberg was a recipient of this award in 2018. So she lost her interest because of their country's involvement and interest showed upon their women's soccer team. So she quit the Norwegian national team in 2007 in protest of that what she concluded as that their country is not interested in women's soccer. So such type of discrimination exists there. You can see a lot of statistics over there. Women earn at most 15% of what their male counterpart earn. And the biggest pay differences exist in soccer, cricket, and golf. There are 20% fewer females less participating in the sport. The reason for the pay gap is their discrimination, lack of support from the media, then attitudes towards women. If women games are organized means there should be a lot of audience. Then only the media coverage will be a lot, and then will be there will be a, that is a turnover of money over that event. Then only 4% of sports media coverage goes to female sports. That is because of the interest among the population. Then only it will get interest, and then we'll get some lot of advertisement, and will get some attraction towards the population. Female represent only 18% of those in international sports federation. There is another statistics I have given. The participation of women athletes in World Meets, that is in 1896, 100% were male. Then it improved a little by year, and in 1990 it improved 5%, then it improved 10%, then in 1992, 36%, and later in 2012 London World Meets, almost all the countries fielded women athletes in all the events. So such type of involvement is there. I have given some solution for gender discrimination. That is, we should develop some gender equality policies, and the sports organization need to work towards the gender equity. The women participation should be encouraged. The opportunity should be given more when compared to the their male counterparts. Then we as a population or people, common people, we have to support the girl sport as a fan or as a player. We should watch the events telecasted in TV. We should get interest and follow them, their game, and we can follow them in the social media also. The sexist language communication should be avoided when the women teams are treated. And more female sports executives should be hired to encourage the women's sports throughout the world. These are some solutions we have to follow to eliminate the gender discrimination in sports. When we come to racial discrimination is worldwide. It is found everywhere. In sports, it is found everywhere. The athletes of color experience harassment and discrimination. A lot of racial booing, racial abusement are everywhere in every sports arena. The hearing racial slurs called out at them are there in every sports arena. then if you take black people, the opportunities for black were limited in so many countries. If you take US, there is a lot of discrimination for the black people. If you take an example, the racial discrimination and humiliation which happened for Indian basketball players, that is two Sikh players, Amritpal Singh and Amjad Singh. While they were playing a match in the 5th FIBA Asia Cup in Wuhan, China, they were asked to remove their cultural turban they were tied over their head. Usually the Sikh used to tie their religious turban in their head. The match officials informed the players that they were breaking International Basketball Federation rules and they were not allowed to play with their turbans. So finally they removed their turbans, and you can see one of the players.
Six players from the Indian basketball team were asked to remove their turbans. The match officials informed the players that they were violating International Basketball Federation rules and cannot play with the turbans on ahead of the game against Japan.
You can see Amritpal Singh has removed his turban
and
he has tied a scarf over his head.
Last week, Amritpal Singh and Amjad Singh had to play the remainder of the tournament without their turbans.
That is Amritpal Singh. So, such discrimination over the races is found everywhere. I can give some other examples. Here is a Ghana midfielder, a soccer player, Kevin Prince Boateng. He is playing for AC Milan in Italy. Once he was playing a match in Italy, there is a friendly match between their AC Milan club and another club. A lot of booing and racial abuse were from the spectator stands. So he just walked out of the field to object the racial abuse. There is a statistic given in 2018, University of Central Florida. They have researched and they have found a lot of instances. There is 52 instances of racial discrimination in sports in the United States alone. And internationally, they have noted 137 racist acts in sports. You can see some other photographs. That is Bulgarian fans. They Nazi salute and they give monkey noises to abuse the black players. You can see a video. This is Kevin Prince Boateng. He shows his objection by kicking the ball out over the fans.
The trouble started when Milan's Kevin Prince Boateng picked up the ball into the crowd. The Ghana midfielder then removed his shirt and stormed off the Pro Patria pitch, followed by both sets of players and the match officials. He applauded other sections of the crowd who hadn't got involved in the abuse.
Kevin Prince Boateng just walked out of the field and he was followed by his teammates also. See, another teammate, he is walking out of the field. See, everyone from the team, they walked out of the field and they showed their protest of the racial abuse. You know very well, if you know basketball, LeBron James is a very great basketball player in USA. He's a black player. He's a very famous player throughout the world. He is sustaining a lot of racial abuses. In June 2017, the athlete's home was vandalized with racial slurs the night before the season's NBA Finals. After that, LeBron James responded saying that no matter how much money you have, no matter how famous you are, no matter how many people admire you, being black in America is tough. That is stating the racial abuses, racial discrimination existed in America regarding the black players.
No matter how much money you have, no matter how famous you are, no matter how many people admire you, being black in America is tough, and we got a long way to go.
The day before Game 1 of the NBA Finals, LeBron James struck a sobering tone about race in America after police say someone spray painted the N-word on the front gate of his Los Angeles home Wednesday morning.
Racism will always be a part of the world, a part of America. And, hate, in America, especially for African American, is living every day.
You can see him. He is a billionaire now because of his earnings in basketball. He earned his social economic status very well equal to the whites in the America, even though he is facing racial abuses and racial discrimination in USA. And I can give you another incident. In 2016, Colin Kaepernick, a player, you can see his head like a brush in his head. That is a black player. Colin Kaepernick is playing for National Football League. That is 49ers team. He is playing as a quarterback. He began kneeling to show his protest of racial inequality existed in America. That is especially the police. They are brutally, they are showing their racial discrimination among the black people. To protest it, he began to kneel while the national anthem of USA was playing before the start of the game. So seeing that occasion, President Trump expressed his opinion that all NFL players who kneel before the kneel during the national anthem of the country should be fired from the team. So this news spread everywhere throughout USA, and lot of teams started to protest. You can see here is a team, and there is another team, and here another team. These lot of teams, they started protesting. Even white people, they also joined the protest, and lot of protests came because of this racial abuse and equality rights for the black people. Over the course of season, all other players joined the protest and started kneeling, sitting, or raising their fist during the anthem. And after that, only recently the incident came. The George Floyd was murdered by a white American cop, and that was protested by lot of white people also in the USA, because it is right, their basic human right. They raise their voice. And Black Lives Matter, I can't breathe, like these slogans were raised during these protests. So just 2 days back, before the start of the NBA this season, you can see LeBron James and his teammates were started kneeling before the start of the game and while the national anthem was playing. So everywhere, everybody showing their protest. And I can give you another example of racial discrimination during the 1936 Olympics. When Jesse Owens of United States was part of the athletic team of United States, he participated in 1936 Olympics and he has won 4 medals from 100 meters, 200 meters long jump and 400 meters relay. While Hitler was watching from the stands, because Hitler, he shows usually the Aryan supremacy and he talk about them. He never liked the another race people or another kind of people. So he was against Jews as well as blacks, and he gave a command that he gave a comment like on this Jesse Owens performance and said that people whose antecedents came from the jungle were primitive. Their physics were stronger than those of civilized whites and hence should be excluded from future games. Like that discrimination came from Hitler's voice. So because of that, Jesse Owens was recalling his incident and he has just wrote in an article that business with Hitler didn't bother me. I didn't go there to shake hands after all those stories about Hitler. I came back to my native country and I couldn't ride in front of the bus. Owens recalled, because Hitler also showed like that. When while I'm returning to my home, I am also showing the same kind of discrimination everywhere. In buses, I cannot go in front and sit in front of the bus. Like that he said. In that Olympics also, he gained some friendship from German long jumper, Les Long. While doing long jump, the qualifying rounds, during the qualifying round, Jesse Owens fouled his first 2 attempts. While going before the 3rd attempt, this Les Long came near to Jesse Owens, gave a comment that, don't worry, buddy, you are a big jumper. You can jump the qualifying mark by closing your eyes also. So take a 1 step back check mark and you jump. Take care to not fall this time also. He gave an advice and Jesse Owens took his check mark 1 feet behind and he jumped and he qualified for the jump. And eventually he won the gold medal over this Les Long. He is also a very good long jumper. And by seeing that medal winning performance of Jesse Owens, Hitler stood up from the stands in the gallery and he went out. So such type of incidents take place. And another incident of this racial discrimination, there is a big incident called Black Power Salute happened in the 1968 Olympics. During the 200 meters medal ceremony of the 1968 Olympics, the first gold medal was won by Tommy Smith and silver medal was won by Peter Norman of Australia and bronze medal was won by John Carlos of USA. While going before the podium for medal ceremony, they thought of showing their protest for equality rights for the black people. So they were discussing while going for the podium, we have to object to the racial discrimination and equality rights. So we are going to raise our arms with the black gloves like that. Only this Peter Norman joined them and he only gave a clue that and suggested that Smith and Carlos should wear the famous black gloves used in their salute. So the Norman also joined them by wearing Olympic Project for Human Rights badge. You can see there is a badge in their tracksuit, that is white badge. You can see very well in this color photo near the medal and above the logo of their country badge, there is a white badge. That is the OPHR badge, that is Olympic Project for Human Rights badge. Usually these white people or some other white race people, they never used to wear this OPHR badge. So Norman wore that badge in support of the Tommy Smith and John Carlos. So because of that support he gave to this Tommy Smith and Carlos, he was fired from their athletic team in their country. He lost his career because of this support. So they got a very good friendship with this, Peter Norman. When Peter Norman died, these Tommy Smith and John Carroll visited his funeral and he was the pallbearer. They are lifting the coffin of this Norman. You can see very well in this photo. Such type of love exists beyond these races, beyond this discrimination. It is a very good thing in sports. Then there are solutions for racial discrimination. There should be zero tolerance racism policy should be developed everywhere in every organization to give equality for the racist individuals. Then encourage players to report racial discrimination. If there is a racial discrimination exists in a team, the players should be encouraged to report it to the higher authorities to eliminate it. Then focus on inclusion. Include every kind of people in all type of activities in sports. Then don't make assumption about athletes because of their race. Then skin color doesn't make them better. It is their performance, it matters. Then establish a safe sporting space for new immigrants. There is a lot of immigrants everywhere in every country. So they should be treated equally among all other citizens. These are some solutions for racial discrimination. Then it come to next part, religious discrimination. Religious discrimination exists in every form, in every sporting activity. That is by not accommodating each player's religious needs. If you don't give accommodation to the religious needs in their teams, it is a kind of religious discrimination. They're not allowing athletes to wear their religious costume, that is head coverings like that. It is also a discrimination on the religious ground. These religious athletes may also have unique needs during practice session, like their fasting, their praying. These are some fundamental rights of these religious kind of people. It should be given for the sports persons during the sports activity. However, asking the player how to accommodate them is always better than making assumption. We should not make assumption on this religious ground. We can just ask the players how to accommodate these kind of activities. There are a lot of religious discrimination. These I can give some examples. Jewish athletes, they can play a game on Saturday. That is their religious belief. Then Muslim athletes may be prohibited from mixing with the opposite gender. And sports uniforms often pose problems for religious athletes because a lot of sports uniforms carry some sponsored logos that just mess with their religious beliefs. So this kind of discrimination exists. And Irfan Pathan, our Indian cricketer, wrote on Twitter once that is racism is not restricted to the color of the skin. Not allowing to buy a home in society just because you have a different faith is a part of racism too. Might be this should have been his experience, or you have seen this experience. Buying a home in a community where this racist or some religious belief is seen as discrimination is considered as racial discrimination. And another player, Darren Sammy, the West Indian captain, who plays for Sunrisers Hyderabad team, he has also claimed that he was racially abused by some of his Sunrisers Hyderabad teammates during the 2014 IPL. You can see the photograph of former Pakistani fast bowler Shoaib Akhtar as well as Danish Canaria. Shoaib Akhtar once admitted that Danish Canaria was abused because of being a Hindu playing for Pakistan. Was not given due credit, and some even refused to eat food with him because of his faith. So such type of religious discrimination existed everywhere. You know very well, Pakistan is mostly Muslim players are playing, and when very few Hindu players are playing. Like in India also, very few Muslim players are playing like that. And Danish Canaria is a very good player. He played 61 tests for Pakistan and bagged 261 wickets. Such a very great player and good player. He too was humiliated and abused because of his religious beliefs. And this is Israel Follow, an Australian rugby player. He has shared his view in a post on Instagram opposing this homosexuality exists in sports. So because of that, he was fired from the team. So he has filed a suit against Rugby Australia. So everywhere exists this religious discrimination. And another example, Coptic Solidarity. It's a foundation exists in Egypt in support of the Coptic Christian community exists in Egypt. If you take Egypt, this Coptic Christian community is a minority found in Egypt. So religiously they are minority. So they were religiously discriminated, and so in support of this Egyptian Coptic Christian athletes, this Coptic Solidarity recently filed formal complaints to the IOC as well as FIFA regarding the Egypt's systematic religious discrimination against Coptic Christian athletes. So they prevented these Coptic Christians from competing in the national and international levels. Despite passing all successful stages, these athletes were excluded from national and international competitions. So such type of religious discrimination exists everywhere in the world. Another example, in 2017, Jeenan Hayes is a girl basketball player in Maryland, was forced to miss her team's regional final just because he was wearing his hijab. Hijab, you know very well, it's a scarf. It is worn in Muslim community women. They used to wear this scarf. That is their religious belief. So because of wearing this hijab, he was excluded from the basketball finals during that Maryland finals. So such type of incidents exist everywhere. So we can follow some solutions to remove this religious discrimination. Be aware that some athletes' religions may not allow them to play on certain days or weeks. So we can reschedule the games and practices. If a lot of religious players are found in the game, we should avoid some sort of days that should prevent religious athletes from participating. Then give them quite separate space for player and other religious observations. During the breaks and during the practice sessions, we should allow them for their religious observation, like taking fastings or giving offering of prayers like that. Then some sort of religion, they don't allow the women athletes to mix with opposite gender. So for that, we can run a single gender or close to the public events also. Then accommodate religious dress in uniforms. So in each and every religion, they follow some sort of dress code. That dress code shall be followed for them. Then refreshment for these fasting athletes during games and during in practice.
Okay.
Give them cold, wet towels to help them to cool down. So then next area of discrimination is disability discrimination. Coming to this disability discrimination, people with both visible and invisible disabilities are prone to disability discrimination. So disability discrimination in sports is perhaps the least talk about the form of discrimination in sports. Even if they are not being malicious, people may leave out athletes with disabilities because they don't want to do extra work to accommodate them. Because to carry out the disabled athlete, to coach them, to take them for competition, each and everything needs some lot of responsibilities. They should take risk. So to avoid them, they don't take very much interest in disabled athletes and sportsmen. Disability is neither a curse nor an obstacle to success. The unique ability of sports to transcend linguistic, cultural, and social barriers make it an excellent platform for strategic of inclusion and adaptation. So we should start including the disabled athletes and adapt them for the sporting activity. Furthermore, the universal popularity of sports and its physical, social, and economic development benefits make it an ideal tool for fostering the inclusion and well-being of persons with disabilities. This is an ad from Paralympic Committee to promote Paralympic events. You can see the encouragement comes from the advertisement for the Paralympic athletes.
Let's go. Charles, get back in the field.
So this is the encouragement for the disabled athletes. No matter who you are, you can participate and you can excel in sports. That is the message given from this advertisement. Then the power of sports as a transformative tool is of particular importance for women. Women with disabilities often experience double discrimination. That is based on their gender as well as disability, they face double discrimination. It is reported that only 93% of women with disabilities are not involved. 93% of women with disabilities are not involved in sports. I think only 7% are involved in sports. That is disabled women. Then providing a lot of opportunities for the disabled athletes, we can give them equal rights. Sport can help to reduce gender stereotypes and negative perceptions associated with the women and disabilities. Sports benefits disabled athletes in many ways. I have given few examples. It gives them something to look forward to. Playing sport gives them a reason for living. Then it helps them adjust to their lifestyle and make friends. They become healthy and so they feel better when they participate in sports. Sports competition offers a challenge that many disabled people enjoy while participating in sports. When they win at a high level of sports, they feel they have achieved something and it becomes more acceptable to them that normally it cannot be achieved by the able athlete too. Here are some events conducted mainly for disabled athletes. Deaf Olympics, Disability Commonwealth Games, Paralympic Games, Special Olympics. These are exclusively conducted for disabled athletes as well as disabled sports persons. And there are a lot of associations for disabled sports persons. This Handicap International, National Blind Sports Federation, International Paralympic Committee. Like these, there are a lot of associations and federations exclusively for these disabled athletes. Here are some of the top 10 Paralympic medal winners of India. Mariyappan Thangavelu from Tamil Nadu, Devendra Jagaria, Naresh Kumar Sharma, Varun Singh Bhati, Deepa Malik, Suyash Yadav, Ankur Dama, Karanjyoti Dalal, Rinku Huda, Rajendra Singh. These all 10 athletes were medal winners from international events, that is Paralympic events. I have given a video footage of Mariyappan Thangavelu who secured gold in the Paralympic Games. You can watch it.
On this event at the moment, nothing else going on in the stadium except this high jump. Place over! Thangavelu at 189.
This is the moment he won the gold
Jumps in
from the
gold
Paralympic
position.
Games.
A beautiful clearance.
So such a great Paralympic athletes are found in India. They are giving name and fame to our country in the international arena. And I have given some solutions for the disabled athletes. The discrimination exists among disabled athletes. Make modifications. That is the modification regarding their playing rule, their equipment, their practice. Everything we should modify according to their needs. Then establish disability-friendly sports teams. You can create teams exclusively for disabled athletes, like disabled, that is differently abled basketball team, differently abled soccer team. Like that, you can establish. Offer non-playing roles. If some differently abled persons, they are not able to participate in sports, means you can include them in sports as a coach, as a manager, as a referee, as a team manager. Like that, you can involve them. Create accessible sports facilities. So the sports facilities should be modified and it should be created, and that should be accessible to these differently abled athletes, like the ramp and the lot of modification, and it should be accessible. The facility should be accessible easily by the disabled athletes. And then remove economic barriers for the athletes with disabilities. We should create a lot of associations as well as funding agencies to help these disabled poor athletes and raise their economic status also. With these solutions, we can eradicate this disability discrimination. And next comes LGBT discrimination. LGBT discrimination is nothing sexuality or gender identity. This LGBT stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. This LGBT is a common term throughout the world. We can see a lot of examples in India also. LGBT discrimination in sports has made the news recently. Then discrimination based on sexuality or gender identity is this LGBT. Athletes who are born male participating in women's sports. And then allowing trans women to play alongside cisgender women would give trans athletes an advantage. Some athletes have transitioned from male to female and female to male. So allowing them in that category gives a threat to other athletes. So they are protesting also. These LGBT athletes often face physical abuse, verbal threats, and cyberbullying and exclusion from team social activities also. I have given photographs of the Santi Soundararajan, and so many athletes comes under this LGBT. This Tamil Nadu star athlete, Santi Soundararajan, in 2006 he won silver medal in Asian Games. And after that he was tested for doping. In the test he was found diagnosed with hyperandrogenism. This hyperandrogenism is the state in which his body is found with lot of androgen hormones. Actually, this androgen hormone is a male sex hormone which is found most in male, and also it is found in female. Only up to some extent is found in female. If that percentage exceeds some extent, she is banned from participating in women category. That is the athletic association, they have rules. So by applying that rules, they have that her medal was removed from her, and because of that she suffered a lot. Then after that suffering, she went back to his brick chamber and worked as a bricklayer for a lot of years. And so many media coverages came out depicting that Shanti Saujiraj is working in a brick chamber, and that some sort of messages were coming to consideration of our government, and the Tamil Nadu government taken step. She has been appointed as an athletic coach in a permanent capacity with the Sports Development Authority of Tamil Nadu. Now she is working as an athletic coach in SDAT Tamil Nadu. She is telling that my goal is to help our athletes realize their potential on the international stage. Because of these all sufferings she suffered, she is giving these statements. There is another example, Mokadi Castro Semenya. She is an athlete from South Africa. She is also found with a lot of excess of this androgen hormone found in his body. She is double Olympic 800-meter champion. She has been caught with a lot of excessive testosterone as well as androgen found in his body. So the Olympic Committee decided to exclude her from participating in the women events. So this is a discrimination, but it is quite natural. By birth itself, she got the testosterone excess in her body. So because of that, she was discriminated. She was eliminated from competing against other women. Then another example from India, Duty Chand. She has given a statement openly that she is gay athlete. She has a relationship with a girl in her village. So bravely she gave her statement like that. She won gold in the World University Games, winning 100 meter with the time of 11.32 seconds, and current national record holder in 100 meter also. She has also won silver medal in 100 and 200 in the 2018 Asian Games. So she is a brave girl. She came out. She is LGBT. Because of that, she suffered a lot in her village also. You know very well Billie Jean King and tennis. She came out as she is an LGBT player, and her publicist told her to deny the claim. She never denied that claim. She openly gave a statement. Then Rennie Richards, a former player, he transitioned from male to female, and she was denied her participation in female by the US Open Tennis Association, and that she sued against the federation, and he won, and he participated in female tennis also later. Then another example, Patricio Manuel, a boxer. Originally, he was participating as a female women boxer in early 2000s, and he transitioned eventually and became a trans. Because of her transition from female to male, he lost his coach and his gym also because of his transition to transgender. Then in 2013, Fallon Fox became the first transgender woman in MMA fighting history. It sparked widespread criticism and controversy, leaving many to question if she would be allowed to fight cis women. Because she was transitioned from transgender to women, she was objected to participate among all other women category. Here is an example in India, first state level transgender athlete meet organized in Kerala. So they were considered, they were started considering among all other population equally now. So exclusively for this transgender, there was a athletic meet. Very first athletic meet was organized in 2017 in Trivandrum. And here are some solutions for this LGBT category. Require regular inclusion training. Then LGBT shall be included in harassment policies. If you take this LGBT category, it is a very much a controversial issue in all other countries. In India, just now it is just rising. Recently, also Indian government has given a statement that this same-sex relationship are legal, like that they have given a statement from court. So in India also this kind of conditions started rising now. And then run an anti-homophobia campaign, then promotes positive spaces, and then sports for everyone. These are some principles to be followed to eradicate this LGBT discrimination among the population. Then the last one is minority discrimination. Even though sports has very few minority discrimination, but untouchability is found as an invisible discrimination in sports. A boy from a slum had less opportunity to shine than those from more advantaged homes. If we take an example, cricket in particular is not an inexpensive sport, and access was related to income. If it is a costlier game when compared to some other games like football. Football needs only a ball and shoes. Cricket needs lot of equipments, lot of facilities, lot of infrastructures. So there is a difference exists. For instance, some sports such as cricket, golf, and tennis may not welcome minority athletes as much as others because these sports are often played at paid clubs. Socioeconomic barriers may keep minority athletes away as people of color are overrepresented among tennis, golf, and cricket. These things involve some social economic barriers in playing as well as in competing. If we take some example from cricket, during 1906, Palwankar Balu was a great Dalit cricketer who played for Mumbai. He was a great player. He was considered equally among all brothers also, even though during the tea break, he was forced to sit apart from all other teammates and he was dined separately. Such type of discrimination existed in early period during 1906. And later in 1950s and 1960s, there is also a greater diversity in social class and income backgrounds that suggests that walls of privilege have been well and truly breached. Sports patrons remained trapped in a feudal social order. And after the post-liberation in India, there have been visible signs of change. Lot of changes happened in cricket also. Agrarian, middle-class castes like Yadavs took greater participation and representations. But even post-independence, especially till the 1970s, cricket remained primarily an upper caste, middle-class, Brahminical sport. Except Eknath Solkar, the son of a groundsman, was one of the few exceptions to the dominance of the privileged classes. Here is a para-athlete, para-archer from India, Pooja Khanna. She is a poor athlete. Her father, a bin collector from Rohtak, an old man scratching a living from other people's waste. This Pooja Khanna was in early childhood, he was diagnosed with poliomyelitis. So she was encouraged by her physical education teacher and to compete in sports. So in discovering raw talent in India's tribal dominated areas and giving them every opportunity to succeed lies the future glory of Indian sport. Coming from a Dalit community, she had to bear a brunt of discrimination. While during her practice sessions in ground, this Pooja Khanna was not recognized equally, not given equal importance from other players. She has given some statements. There were days when I was asked not to drink water from a public tap. Then she has also given hope to all other athletes. Don't let disability defeat you. So she was facing some minority discrimination. It is a very good example. The world is improving in a lot of discrimination. If you take the 2018 World Cup winning French team, you can see a lot of colors. 16 out of 23 French squad are children of first generation French immigrants, mainly from former French colonies in Africa. These immigrants in every country are considered as minority and they were not given due respect and due importance in participation in every activity. So such type of minority discriminations are improving now and they are being eliminated. This is a very good example for that. Then let us hear some solutions for minority discrimination. Providing equal opportunity and access to all minority class as well as everyone will eradicate the minority discrimination. Then sensitization of all groups, especially minority groups, on their rights and freedom. Then adequate and effective representation of minorities should come up in all leadership and government positions and structures. Then only it will be removed. then supporting minority athletes by developing a good reporting tool and taking every case seriously. If there is a problem arising and if there is a report arising regarding minority issue, it should be solved. Sports organizations should have a zero tolerance policy for this minority discrimination and harassment. Focus on inclusion, include all players. Never look at their minority, race, religion, caste, anything. Never look at it. Give equal importance for inclusion. So things are changing day by day. In all such type of discrimination, there is energy behind equality for the sports industry. The road to equality is not an easy one, and there are many different aspects to achieving this. The wages, that is pay, the opportunity for participation, and the recognition equally beyond gender or beyond races or beyond caste or community. Lots have been done in more recent years to address aspects like equal pay, but there is still more to do to gain full equality. Women's World Cup has as much excitement, sponsorship and audience engagement as the Men's World Cup. Then we are nearer to having achieved equality in sports. Up to that, it is a growing concept. Sporting is one of the last truly meritocratic spaces in society and must always remain so. There cannot be the dynastical or nepotistic principle applied on sports field as it is perpetuated in politics or cinema. Sports must be driven by talent alone and by an unswerving recognition that only the most skilled can rise to the top of the game beyond these discrimination, race, religion, caste, minority, gender, whatever it is. So thank you everyone for patient listening, and thank you for the opportunity to share my views and knowledge regarding these discrimination, especially in sports field. Thank you, one and all.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Yeah, very great and very useful and informative, effective and fruitful presentation for today's session, sir.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you so much, sir. You find out so many evidence and well planned presentation for you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, open to all the participants. Any clarification? If you get any doubts, feel free, ask to the resource person. Sir, good Roshan, sir.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sir, my question is with J. Rajasingha, sir.
Thank you.
That who are the responsible for the such discrimination in the sports? The government, the common people, or the belief that hunted in our society?
Each and every one of us, because each and every individual play a role in this type of discrimination, because the minds and concept of the people has to be changed, that everyone is equal. The human value should be raised. Everyone should think that everyone is equal and consider each and everyone equal rights, and we should follow. Only these kind of discrimination will be eliminated from the society. Also, some sort of group, that is government as well as some agencies, have a lot of responsibility changing this kind of discrimination. But each and every individual in each and every community has to look up for these equal rights. Thank you.
Sir, thank you, sir.
Sir,
Myself, Dr. Sedu from Manonmaniam Sundaranath University.
Welcome, Sedu.
Sir, very nice, sir. Excellent presentation. As our organizer said, you have presented with evidence of all such a kind, sir. Sir, my clarification here, please give a brief note about 20th century and 21st century about these things, sir.
In 20th century, the discrimination elimination was rising, and now it is almost eliminated, I can say. But in some cases in sports, there are some discriminatory incidents. Like you can say, in USA, there is a lot of black community discrimination. Recently also it exists in everywhere. I have given an example of LeBron James. LeBron James is a great basketball player. He is a very good fame player. He is one of the popular icon throughout the world. He too faces a lot of racial discrimination now itself, So there is some incidents happening now also, but now people are changing. People are changing, and the thoughts in the minds of the people are changing. And we believe that this kind of discrimination will eliminate one day, surely 100%. Thank for everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Because of the Pakka presentations and the evidences you put in all your title is highly an eye opener for us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Roshan sir, tell me, sir.
Yes, sir. In India, as sir has told me, actually, sir, first of all, I would like to thank you, sir, because your all sessions are itself questions and the answers. So, so basically, we're not keeping any of the questions, but I have just a questions from your that PPT that in India, the socio-economic conditions create barriers for both the boys and the girls to participate in the games and the sports along equally with the middle class or the higher class society. So what steps should be taken by the government in this regard that them chance to be a part of the sports and game?
See, if you take a socio-economical barrier found in discrimination, it is found
Yes, sir.
everywhere in India. But there
Yes,
are a lot
sir.
of schemes and principles found in government policies also. That is, we say the talent hunting. Talent hunting is found in a SAI program, that is Sports Authority of India, has a program called talent hunting. That is catch them young and coach them right. That is a policy. If that policy is carried out properly, the young talent is found in the early stages. They can be raised up to the international level, because if they are found in the early stages, if they are from the poor background or poor social economic conditions, whatever the case may be, if they are having a very good talent found in them, if these can be done properly, they can be raised to international level properly. So government has some principles, and that principles should be followed properly. And there are a lot of social economic barriers apart from these principles also. There are a lot of hazards, political hazards, then these financial hazards, then cultural hazards. A lot of hazards exist over these kind of activities. These should be eliminated one by one, and from beyond that, this talent hunting is found in early stages. Then they can come up nicely. In that also, while coming up, they will face these kind of all problems you have mentioned. So this should be eradicated, this should be eliminated, and a lot of improvement should be there regarding these policies. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Hello,
sir.
Rajesh sir. Rajesh sir. Hello, Rajesh.
Anil Kumar sir, good morning.
Yes,
very
sir.
good.
Yes, sir. Very good morning.
Yes, sir.
Can I proceed towards my question?
Yeah, okay, sir.
You are
Proceed, sir.
welcome.
My question is to Rajesh sir.
Yeah.
Rajesh sir, you elaborated everything in marvelous way, no doubt. And you described the problem which is existed across the world.
Yeah.
Actually, India is not away. India is also the part of world.
Of course.
No doubt, there are caste, creed, and gender-based inequalities and discrimination in Indian sports as well as in world also.
Yeah.
You show the PPTs with their solutions also, and admitted that there such evils are existing still now in the 21st century.
Of course.
And now the various private leagues are existing. Lot of people go there to watch the sports beyond thinking they are from the female or male side.
Of course.
But as you show, the solution is zero tolerance to report against the discrimination and focus on in discrimination and so on.
Yeah.
But my question is why such evil existed in sports still in India, and why the such evil not being uprooted?
Shall I answer?
Actually, in each and every part, I also faced such discrimination in my student life whenever I was in graduation. But I opposed, resistfully opposed, but I couldn't do anything because I was then a student. And the same way, now thousands of students are in India are suffered due to the discrimination, whether the caste base or gender base, it is not the matter, but discrimination is still alive in India. And therefore, India is lagging in the sports. As you are the person of sports, the lot of authorities are involved, SAI or many sports colleges are there, but this evil is still exists in sports. Result, we are having a great number of person in world, but lagging in the sports. So please clarify why such evil existed till now.
Yeah, of course, as from your statement itself, you have said that this type of discrimination existed everywhere in India.
Yes.
This type of discrimination existed in general population. So from this general population, it is transferred to the sports people. So lot of people are trying to eradicate it, and lot of barriers over there regarding this type of discrimination. These associations and federations, they are creating lot of rules and regulations regarding these type of discrimination. Even though it exists there, the thoughts and thinking of the people have to be changed, that we people are equal by birth. Then this type of thinking improves, and this type of behaviors improve. This type of activities will be eliminated. We as a sports people, and we are recommending the association as well as the federations regarding these problems and the prevention of these problems. Lot of changes have been made, lot of rules and regulations have been implemented. Slowly, gradually it is improving, but as you said, it still exists there. In India, it is more when compared to throughout the world. It exists everywhere. In India, I agree it, but we people are trying to eradicate, eliminate it. And I have given some example. Also, the FIFA has given a regulation and rule that they have a slogan and logo called "No Racism." Like that, for each and every discrimination, they have a rule and regulation in football. Like football, all other federations also having lot of rules and regulations. They are slowly day by day improving, and I am sure that one day this will be eliminated surely 100%. In India, it is slowly improving. When you compare to world, in India it is slowly improving, and one day I am sure it will be improved. The people's mind and thoughts, everything will be changed and it will be improved. This discrimination case will be removed, I believe. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. But behind the curtain, lot of things are being happening.
Of course, I agree. I agree.
Thanks a lot.
Hello.
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 Hello. Hello. Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Proceed, sir. Ask your
Yes, sir.
question.
Am I audible?
Yeah, audible, sir.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Please
Hello,
participate
sir.
one by one. Please participate. Ask your
Please
question.
send me my email ID, PPT slides.
Yeah.
If you
I
have
will
any,
share.
please
I will
ask.
share it, ma'am. I will share it.
அது வந்து ஜிமெயில்ல தான வந்து இதுல தான ஒரு கூகுள் மீட்ல
It's okay. Anybody there?
இது சும்மா
Okay, sir.
Yeah, Raja
yes,
Singh,
yes,
sir.
sir.
Thank you so much, sir. My
Thank you,
PhD
thank
topic
you.
related topic discuss.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. I will share it. Yeah, thank you so much for.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Raja Singh, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for.
Thank you so much, sir.
Very proud
Thank
of
you,
the
sir.
today's
Thank you so
resource
much.
person. I will invite for
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Very informative and wonderful session, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Yes, thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Raj sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, sir. And Palani Kumar sir, I will special thank for today felicitation address, Dr. Palani Kumar sir, Physical Director, Thiruvallur College, Papanasam.
Thank you,
And
sir.
today
Rajesh sir, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, anybody questions for that?
No problem.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.
And Raja Singh sir, thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I thank your management also for giving us such a great opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Participants, we will meet you tomorrow and next
Okay,
topic.
sir. Sure.
Yeah,
Sure,
thank
sir.
you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Okay.